Good grief. Why do they never go in for me? Hi everyone, back again. Another video, another issue of Melody Maker. I thought I'd just do a quick one of these, keep videos going, you know how it is. So this one is from August 12th, 1989. I'm going to cut to myself in a moment, ready to start reading along with you. Okay, so here we go. So this is a Melody Maker dated August the 12th, 1989. As you can see there. So on the cover we've got, surprisingly, a metal band, which didn't always happen in on Melody Maker. And I decided to go with this issue because I was in a chat with John Downing and he was surprised that Wolfsbane had actually been on the cover of Melody Maker. So there's the proof, John. We've got Tom Petty over in the corner. We've got, this was just before Batman came out in the UK. It'll just come out in the States, and Batmania was happening over in the US. So we've got the Joker on the, or Jack Nicholson as the Joker on the cover. So yeah, so right, going straight in. So we've got an advert for the '89 Reading Festival. New Order, The Pose, and The Mission were the headliners. I didn't go that year. I went 88 and I went 1990 and I think I went 91 as well. Might even have gone 92 as well. But I didn't go this year. I don't think I went. No, I didn't go. I don't know why I didn't go, because I really would have gone to seen most of these, like New Order, The Sugar Cubes, House of Love, Petulant Emotion, Valentine, Spaceman 3, Gay Bikers. I mean, that's a day from heaven to me. Why didn't I go? I have no idea. Maybe I couldn't afford it. I mean, you've got Pogues, New Model Army, Wedding Presents, Billy Bragg, Men They Couldn't Hang, Mission, Wonder Stuff, Buttholes, Voice of the Beehive would have been good, Probably Itself, Loop. So that would have been absolutely splendid, actually. Oh well. But I never made it there. We've got, what have we got? So in the news, we've got Tears for Fears are going to release Sowing the Seeds of Love. We've got the Sugar Cubes touring. Joe Strummer back with a new single from Earthquake Weather. Madonna with a new single. What else have we got here? We've got... Yeah, this was quite a big one. Island Records was bought out by Polygram. Making Polygram the biggest record company in the world at the time. I think it's quite sad that Island did sell out. But I guess they weren't, maybe they weren't making enough money, I don't know. But anyway, so that was quite sad, really. There you got Alice Cooper with Poison. Or following up Poison with Trash. That was out. We've got Simple Minds, 3 dates. Oh, that's one story I was going to... Yeah. Motley Crue were playing, announced the tour at Wembley Arena on 1st November. I was there. So, supported by Skid Row and White Lion. I was actually there at Wembley. That was a tour when, what's his name, Tommy Lee? Well, his entire drum kit went upside down. This is absolutely ludicrous. I mean, it's laughable when you think about it now. Yeah, wow, man, he was doing a drum solo and he went upside down and did a full rotation. Wow, man. I mean, Clanad single down there is Headley. Right, so this is the amusing bits. I'm going to skip over this because really, you've got the Nod Corner down here, which is the drummer of Fields of Nephilim, get the Mickey taken out of him. You've got a goth version of Batman up there. Yeah, I'll move straight on over that. Then you've got interview with Tom Petty, which is actually quite a decent interview, I think. Raises environmental concerns that he had. I think it does touch on the fact that he was exceedingly uncool in Britain. And I think there's a whole slew of American artists from sort of 70s and the 80s that are essentially were considered uncool. And it was like, you'll see the attitude that other people, reviewers had towards, especially Tom Petty later in the magazine. It's actually not a bad interview, that one. That one's quite good. I like that picture of Tom. I really like that. Right, what we got next? Anti-Fascist Rap Coalition, I think. That was a good album. That was a fantastic album. Really good. One of my favourite, probably my favourite tribute album, where loads of, obviously, these people, he did a fantastic version of, was it Helpless on there? I think. Fantastic versions of Neil Young songs. Absolutely brilliant. I'll have to actually dig that out and listen to it again. It's been a little while. Sidelines. So here's up and coming stuff. We've got Working Week, who were never big. Viva Saturn, never heard of them. Got Siobhan Fahey picking her favourite records. So Roxy, Grace Jones, Joni Mitchell, Jimmy Smiths, Pistols, Patti Smith, Bowie, T-Rex, and the Gap Band. Eurythmics there, single there. Revival. This is when I ducked out of the Eurythmics. I just kind of lost it. Much more interesting stuff going on at the time. I don't know what he's doing in Sidelines. Obviously, Alice. Maybe because half the people in Read Melody Maker wouldn't know who he was, I presume. I don't know. But seems a bit silly to have him there. The Chimes, who did absolutely fabulous. I've got their album. It's really good. So I think that's Beef. Yeah, they just released 1, 2, 3, which I think was their debut single. I think it was. Something about... That's interesting. Tony Halliday. Debut solo album. This was like 3-4 years before. Was it 3 years before Curve came out? Was it 392 when Curve came out? I've never heard that, so that might have to be listened to. Knock Me Down by them. We've got John Moore and Expressway, ex-Mary Chain drummer. Who else we got? Got Fatboy Slim. Before he had any hits. So this is after Norman Cook had left the House Martins. And before he'd actually become really successful. I think he was still just a DJ at this point. Had he released anything as Fatboy Slim? Don't know, but he's going on about obviously anti-poll tax. God, the poll tax was it poll? I guess it was, wasn't it? Poll tax was still a thing in '89. Good grief! You kind of forget the time that things happened at. Fuzzbox Live. I loved Fuzzbox when they turned from the grungy indie heroes they were and became this sleek pop machine. I thought they were just as good like that. Obviously, record company manipulation going on left, right, and centre, but they were still a damn fine pop group. The Chills in a poor live review. I like the Chills. I've really got to get more of their records. All I've got, a couple of singles, I think. Absolutely beautiful, chiming guitar pop. Absolutely gorgeous stuff. Robert Cray in a review. The Sidleys, did they become Godfathers? No, they didn't. Who were the Sidleys? I'll have to find that out. I can't remember. I'm sure they became somebody else, or maybe they were just one of those indie upstarts that never got anywhere. Right. Okay, so you're on the live. What's coming up live? So I'm going to take Thursday this time. So we've got Wolfsbane in Aberdeen. Guana Bats were still going around in '89. I might do a couple of different. Wolfhounds were playing. Underworld were playing Charing Cross Road Borderline. That was when they were still some kind of sort of semi-industrial band. Nothing like they became. Absolutely nothing. Diesel Park West with Delamitri supporting them. Let's go for Saturday, because that's always usually a really good day to choose. See who was playing. So we've got Stone Roses were playing Blackpool Ballroom. That's gone down as legendary, that gig. That is one of the there we go. Stone Roses play their biggest gig of their career, apart from when they play Spike Island. Ali Pali as well was a big one, wasn't it? Not much there. Simple Minds playing Edinburgh with Texas supporting. Underneath What? I like them. I've featured them in a video I did a while back on like Indigo's Rock, and I like them. Desmond Decker, wasn't he playing? Did I say him in the last one? I don't know. You probably, but Desmond Decker playing Leeds. Mega City 4 were playing Liverpool just before I got there. Mr. Nothing much going. Oh, Bloodwind Pig was still going, playing the Mean Fiddler. Jules Holland playing in the Isle of Dogs. That would have been a thriller second. Ten Pulse Tudor was still going in 1989, or maybe they reformed. Well, obviously Edward Ten Pulse Tudor formed a new band probably. I can't believe they were still playing. Gino Washington was playing Kennington. So, a couple of top gigs there with the Desmond Decker there as well. Wilco Johnson playing Walthamstow. I mean, it just shows how much your taste changes, because some of these I would never have gone to see at the time, but I would die to go and see them now. I mean, obviously a lot of them aren't with us anymore, but Primal Scream playing Sheffield. This would have been a time of the self-titled second album as well. Right, who have we got down here? Dimitri still touring. Poppyfield. Boo Radley supporting at Liverpool Planet X. Planet X was a tiny place, so the fact that they were supporting, absolutely amazing. Tiger Tails playing at the Astoria. Family Cat live review. Family Cat, such an underrated band. They were absolutely brilliant. They did a brilliant single called, what was it? Steamroller. Absolutely amazing. I don't think I still don't have that on us anywhere. But they're a great band, really underrated band. I loved them. Great single by the Primitives being released as well. Sick of It, which is a follow-up to Crash, I think. Or was it later? Was it the next album? Oh, it was the next album, wasn't it? Right, so we got the ads. I think I went to that. Pretty sure I did. Fuzz Tones and the Hypnotics. I must have gone to that. Yeah, Electric Ballroom. I'm pretty sure I went to that. Aerosmith were touring. Who was playing the marquee? Nobody much. Brixton. Who was playing the Mean Fiddler? Crazy Head. Don't know if I went to that or not. Might have done. Voice of the Beehive, Mary. So this was often in London. People would be playing warm-up gigs for Reading. So that's why you've got a lot of these were playing Reading. Crazy Head, Voice of the Beehive, Men They Couldn't Hang. Chapter House. That's a Chapter House playing there. So that was obviously not that big at that time. Was this pre? So this was just about as shoegaze was starting. So Chapter House playing there. Census Things playing there at the Powerhouse. Primal Scream, Petrol Emotion, Vest and Pants. That's something to do with the Poppies. So Friday the 20th. Ah, yeah, that would be a Pop Will Eat Itself warm-up show for Reading, because they often went out to play secret gigs as Vest and Pants. Right, what we got here? All Spain live review. Etta James playing the Town and Country Club. I've read this review. Basically, she just knocked it out of the park from the looks of it. Lilac Time. So Stephen Duffy, just getting going as a Lilac Time, released some absolutely gorgeous records. Absolutely gorgeous. I don't have anywhere near enough Lilac Time. Interview Pete Burns. Made some really good pop records, even if half of them were made with Stock Aitken and Waterman. So we got the charts. I think number 1 was Jive Bunny, that absolute classic. The less said about them, the better. Kylie at number 2. What are the albums? Gloria Estefan, Simply Red, and the London Boys. Well, that is an absolute top-notch, brilliant selection of albums there. Right, what's on the indie singles? So this is when when pop producers realised they could get in the indie charts. So although you've got the Stone Roses at number 1, which She Bangs a Drum, at number 2 you've got Kylie, which is just absolutely laughable. You've got Voodoo Ray, absolute stone cold classic. De La Soul, Stone Roses again. Spaceman 3, Hypnotised, that is a fantastic song. Birdland falling down the chart. You've got Joe by the Inspirals. What just come out? Grind Crusher, Earache compilation album. Margin Walker, that's a brilliant album. Doolittle was in the charts. Fantastic stuff there. Maybe not quite so good over here, but what are the new entries? I've just seen Fuzzbox got in the charts. Fuzzbox are in the singles. Kirsty MacColl down at number 30. Don't know if you can see that. Kirsty MacColl with Kite was in just new release. It's the only new entry. I suppose a lot of albums wouldn't get released, would they, I guess? Right, singles reviews. So single of the week was BB King. We've got Public Imaging getting a decent review. Adult Net, which was Brooks E. Smith's band. Absolutely great debut album. Fabulous stuff. Got Tom Petty. This is really scathing review of Running Down a Dream, which I think is an absolutely top-notch song by him. Basically, he spends the whole thing coming up with a clever... This is what really infuriated me about some of the writers. Like, John Wilde was an absolute tosspot. He'd come up with these oh-so-clever ideas. And basically, you can sum it up in one sentence: I don't like Tom Petty. And he's just being so clever, like a complete tosser. Just whatever. But that's why you had to read between the lines. I had my favourite writers at Melody Maker, and they were like Simon Reynolds, who is just astounding writing. Chris Roberts, I really enjoyed just because of his utter love of pop. I liked Stud Brothers because they were stupid. Who else did I really like? They were the three. They were sort of the main ones I really read. But people like John Wilder just couldn't give a rat's ass about Soup Dragon's Backwards Dog. I love this single, and it's just, they bandwagon jumpers. Having cottoned on to the fact that we can do without fifth-rate buzzcocks, this completely and utterly useless group had decided to become a fifth-rate Zodiac mind warp. No, they were trying to be the Stooges, actually, you arse. Anyway, moving swiftly on, before I get more annoyed by them. Fuzzbox LP review. Chris Roberts. Always enjoyed reading about him writing about pop. Tony Halliday. There's a review of her debut. Yeah, really. Chris Roberts summing her up as being just mediocre, basically. Quite like the idea, the sound of this one. Cowboy and Spin Girl. Female Iggy Pop. And next to the stuffed and mounted corpse of Jilted John. I quite like it. I might try and search that out, actually. Ziggy Marley. Never into him. Never got into him. Who else we got? Steve Stevens' Atomic Playboys over here. Cranes. I think I said last. I think they were in the last one I did. George Clinton getting a review. Oh, Stubbsy. David Stubbs was the other writer I really liked in A Melody Maker. getting a decent review of that album. We've got an overview of Nick Cave up to, was it? Oh no, it's a birthday party, so it's all the birthday party releases, including Junkyard, which is quite simply an amazing album. Review of Woodstock, the album. New Ramones album, Brain Drain, which I wouldn't have said was a particularly strong album. May have been the strongest for years, but they sort of lost it in the late 80s. Family Cat, I've already talked about them. Well, that's a bit crap, wearing your own t-shirt. There's Wolfsbane, old Blaze Bayley, pre-Iron Maiden days. I listened to this album. I've forgotten what's it called. It's a debut, and I've forgotten what it's called. Live Fast, Die Young, or something like that. I think it's all right. I mean, it's produced by Rick Rubin. The actual interview itself, I don't know. It doesn't come across as the brightest button, but then I guess a lot of rock and pop stars aren't, to be honest. But then you don't know whether that's just the journalist framing that way because they're a metal band. So who knows? To be honest, I preferred people like The Almighty at this point, and still into the cult. I think Sonic Temple was around at this point. So I never really got into Wolfsbane. They're all right, but they just didn't get me enthused about. Telescopes, sort of a bit after the fact, sort of Spaceman 3. They got tied in with shoegaze, but they sort of also rounds really. I stuck with my Spaceman 3 and Loop albums, I think, at the time. Somebody complaining about that Fuzzbox changed their image. Who gives a stuff as long as enjoy the music. Now, does anybody remember Jade For You? I don't remember her at all. Then you've got a big article on Batman. But even more important, possibly even more important, look at this. The Decline of Western Civilization Part 2. This is a film of the year right there. That was an amazing film. I've got the soundtrack on vinyl and it is fantastic. And I think I've still got a VHS of this film that I taped off the TV. And it is equal parts fascinating, hilarious, incredible. Just incredible. And there's another ad for it. It's Alice, who plays with Guns N' Roses in it. What's that? Is that a quote? My mum still thinks I'm going through a phase in my life, and she says, why don't you come home and cut your hair like the little boy I used to know? Amazing film. This is all right. Amazing. This is the important one. Then you've got I'm sure I'll let people will know better than I do about musical equipment. Obviously a Marshall Stax there. Lots of stuff I know nothing about. Ludwig drums, don't know if they're any good. You got your classifieds, including a bear eating a microphone. No idea. More of that. Drums, guitars and all this stuff. I forgot how many ads there was for music and guitars and stuff. And that's your lot. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that trawl through 1989 and all it had to offer. I reckon I'll probably do another one of these in another couple of weeks. We'll see how it goes. If you want to request a year or even sort of maybe somebody who was maybe on the cover, then drop your comment in and I'll see what I can do. But anyway, for now, that's your lot. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.